taking over. Let's go. It's Ferrall. Coast to coast. Steaks, chicks, stacks. You and I are going to make a lot of money. It's Ferrall. Coast to coast. It's Ferrall on the bench, coast to coast, in the biggest way possible. Hanging out the bad seed, the broken, the bad apple with a bad attitude. We are live in New York City, the Big Apple. Ooh. People dressed in plastic bags, directing traffic, some kind of fashion shake-up she could be, along with the Tutty and Tater King himself, the founder of the ILC podcast, the rights holder of the Sheet of Integrity, the Put It With the Golf guru, Carver High this afternoon, ladies. Mafia running it with Luke. I am your father. The rundown on a terrible towel Tuesday, a double shot with Morency from British Columbia this very hour. And within these walls of that first hour, the great scribe, Mike DeCourcy of the Sporting News with our weekly capsule with him. And then Adam Kaplan later, our NFL insider. It is all evolving rapidly, Carver High. As the NCAA tournament starts tonight in Dayton with the play-in games, there are 2 games tonight, 2 games on Wednesday. Also tonight, the NIT tournament starts, which is also college rack and good games and one and done. And there are schools like Indiana and Rutgers that are too good to play in tournaments of such ill repute because they're so stuck up with their alleged power. And, of course, one of them still thinks they have blue blood status. But I can tell you firsthand that they don't. And that would be the Indiana Hoosiers, the phony bitches that they are. They don't go to any tournament that isn't the NCAA tournament because they can't win that either anymore. Those days are long gone. They actually think they're a football school now. They're going to win 11 games in Cincinnati. I'll be all right, Carver High.
Yeah, I know you will be. Look, I actually think that they might not have just turned down that NIT, or even, I guess, because they're in the Big Ten, they probably turned down the Crown, right? The Crown tournament where they would go to Vegas and hang out. And that would have been like another month they would have had to keep Woodson as the head coach. I really believe they did this just because they want to start hiring a coach. And the longer that they're playing, the longer it looks bad. You know, you're going behind Woodson's back.
Is that Mississippi State burgundy, that shirt, or is that Hoosier cream? I mean, what do we got here?
It's got a little bit more of, I would say, a purplish.
A little Mississippi State. A little.
Yeah. I don't think so. I think it's got a little bit more towards, I'm trying to think, maybe a little Grand Canyon. They're probably a little darker purple than this. But we're looking to get the purple out this week. It is the color of royalty. And we're looking to get things done here this week with this tournament, which, as you said, does begin tonight in Dayton with the first 4. And the team that everybody said doesn't belong here gets the first crack tonight, and that is North Carolina, who will take on a team you love, the Dutch Oven, and the Aztecs out of the Mountain West. Everyone loves the Dutch Oven. And look, we said this yesterday. It's hard because usually the team that everyone says shouldn't be here ends up winning not just the first 4 games, they end up winning, a couple more games after that. And I could see North Carolina precisely doing that in this tournament.
Yeah, and so could I. And I hope to God that doesn't happen. I am completely rooting a full tilt for the Aztecs tonight against the Heels in the 9:40 tip on True TV. I already like, as you know, the Dutch Oven and the Aztecs, and I always have, and I wear the Aztec colors proudly because I'm so embarrassed to wear anything that says Indiana. I wear my Indiana sweatshirt now and take abuse from people because they're such peas. And then I am so glad. I really am so grateful that my son, who was going to transfer to that hillbilly school that I went to, decided to stay in Southern California with all the hot chicks and bikinis rather than go deal with all the farmers' daughters in the middle of nowhere. I've lost all faith in that school and anything to do with it. Screw them. I'll never give them a penny. I don't care what they think of me. They can all kiss my ass. Every one of them, including dead people that went to school there. I hate them too. Honestly, until they hire someone as good as Cronin or Bob Knight, I will never root for him again. I'm done with it. F with it however way you want, Carver High, as the general used to say. I'm done with it.
We will give you all the numbers for tonight's games, including, of course, the 16s are playing as well. The Terriers, St. Francis of PA.
What could be worse
Alabama
than that game?
It's 16 games are all. You know what, though? For those
There's
schools,
NIT games that are better.
There is. You've got Chattanooga, MTSU, St. Louis, Arkansas State's a good game. Riverside and Santa Clara late night.
That's a great game.
In the NIT. So we'll give you the numbers on the NIT as well as we move throughout the course of our day. A lot to do with that. We'll do a lot of NBA from last night and tonight. The Warriors lose to the Nuggets with no Joker, no Murray, and they still lose. And Steph's tired. He's tired.
Now
Steph.
stop. They got their ass beat. I watched the game after the hated most semifinal victory by 20 points. I drowned myself in after-hour St. Ferrelli's Day beverages watching the entirety of that game. And I'll tell you what, for my money, I just thought Brody was incredible with the triple-double, and I thought Gordon was incredible. I thought the Nuggets without Joker and Murray were incredible. I couldn't believe my eyes what they did at the Chase against the Dubs, and it was good stuff. Late night, I had it all going. Not only that, as you know, I've been not indulging in junk food over the last month, trying to, and I have shed 10 pounds, moving briskly on the court, getting involved. But last night with the holiday and everything and the late night beverages, I was tapping into everything. Orville Redenbacher, Pringles, Goldfish, after hours, 2 a.m. I was still up. If I could have bet on a game at 2 a.m., I would have. I got up, and then I got up and watched the Dodgers. I did. I watched them, and I hate them too.
Did you?
Oh, I watched.
Well, I obviously, I was upset. The only thing that upsets me about baseball games now is if there's no home runs, I'm upset. So there was no home runs in that. Nobody hit a homer. I mean, not even someone I didn't bet on. Nobody hit a homer this morning. But the Dodgers did start their march to like 130 wins with a 4-1 win out in Tokyo against the Cubs. So nice job by them.
What was the number? 104 wins is the total?
I saw, I think 103.5 is where it actually at most places closed before this morning.
We got to go over the rainbow.
Yeah. And look, next week we start the real opening day. You know that the sheet of integrity is around the corner with the Major League Baseball over.
I'm watching the Pirates right now. I just saw an interview with Kutch.
The Buccos, 75.5 for the Buccos this year. I was looking at the numbers last night. I actually played one. Rays under 81.5 was the one I put in last night. But 75.5 for the Buccos.
How about 84 wins for the Buccos this year?
Wow.
Surprise team in baseball. Give me the over.
Well over 75.5 for them. Okay, we could get involved with them. So we'll do all of that. Your boy Cam Hayward's had enough of Aaron Rodgers waiting for that white smoke. I saw Cam Hayward's like, either you want to be a Steeler or you don't. Get it over with already. Your boy tells it like it is.
They're saying that this guy may drag this out until Lambeau and the draft.
Yeah, he can't do that. He just can't. I don't care what they're saying. He cannot wait until the draft. It's just stupid at this point. He should not be doing that at all.
I saw a guy throw a chair last night in our game too, like Bob Knight. I've seen him do it twice now. I told him after the game, because I'm good friends with him, that I'm proud of him. Trying to live up to the general, throwing chairs across. This guy threw it the entire length of the gym.
which is a great place to be. Are you in the locker room? Like, you giving like the Any Given Sunday inches Al Pacino speech? Are we there yet?
Oh yeah, I think we've been there. We're gonna have a long talk with Rob today about the 99-199 issue from last week. Like, I just don't get how he is still employed. We got to talk to ownership about that one.
The Smiley Show, only on SportsGrid.
They're also showing a little bit more propensity to take the pull-up jumper, which I think is important for them. Aiden Holloway's been better. Brant Nelson's staying out of foul trouble. Clifford Murray is attacking the offensive boards and being the defensive threat that they need. If Alabama can defend, and they make a run, and they win the SEC tournament, I think they're the fourth number one seed.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
That is also value to be the best player on the best team. To me, it's Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. There is no doubt about it.
The Nuggets probably going to finish, second overall in the conference here, and it's not going to get him the MVP. We'll see how it is down the stretch, and I assume this is going to tighten up, but barring a huge drop-off for OKC as a team, not just SGA, you could probably pencil him in for 30 a night.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid. The game is on. The stakes are high. But the action isn't just on the field.
He's rearranging that rim. Get it inside!
SportsGrid's in-game live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
A little flyer, couple of 15.5-point live line.
Every prop, every play, every day.
Anything can happen. That's complete chaos.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
You can catch Sports Rage weeknights at 10 East on all of our TV and radio outlets. We get Morency for a double shot every day from Vancouver, BC, right here on C2C. So I got up this morning, and I was up late. I had a late game, and I got in late, and then I got caught up on St. Ferrelli's Day with some, quick hit blasts. You got to get those in quick. And then I went to bed at like 2 a.m. I got up at 6:30 and I watched the Dodgers and Cubs. I saw 3 or 4 innings of it I watched before I went to the gym. Did you get to catch the Dodgers win over the Cubs in Japan with no home runs?
Yeah, I ended up not staying up for. There was nothing going on last night. There were no late games. There was no college basketball. The NHL was an early slate. The NBA games were over, and I decided to shut it down, and I PVR'd the game. And in the past, I've done this before at times where, I tape a game, and I used to tape games in the old days on like VHS and stuff like that, right? Pre-internet days. And I never watched, Scott. I ended up fast-forwarding to the end because I got money on it, right? I'd fast-forward to the end to want to find out. But I actually was very disciplined this morning. I didn't check anything online. I didn't look at my phone or anything like that, Scott. I woke up pretty early. I woke up at about 8:30, 9 a.m., excited to watch the Dodger game. So I basically fast-forwarded through the commercials, and I sort of sped it up in between pitches a bit as well. And I'm glad that I did, because it still took me like an hour plus to watch the game, Scott, even though I'm fast-forwarding everything. It was a long game. But I ended up seeing it all, and even better, I bet on the Dodgers to win the game. I took the under in the game. I took Ohtani over 1.5 total bases. I took no run in the first inning, so we started off the baseball season with a bang.
Do you have VHS footage of your metal band playing live in front of a bar full of drunks?
Yeah, we definitely do somewhere. Sitting in a storage locker or something like that, definitely. We got CDs and DVDs and videos, and through technology has passed. But that's
I only have me on Letterman on VHS. I did it twice, and I got it on
that's
VHS.
Cool. You have that still.
It's embarrassing, but it's
but
the only thing
I got.
But you have
a VCR, though.
I don't, right? But I got it on.
And you can't show it to
VHS.
people, really.
Not really.
So you know what you got to do? You know what you got to do? You can take it, like, look it up. I'm sure there's a place in your, in your area. They'll convert it for you.
Oh, is
you know what I mean? Just take the VHS in and tell them, listen, I need it in like a clip on a computer in a modern form. Like, make this. Yeah. There's services. I was gonna do it, Scott, because funny enough, I've got a bunch of old Homicide stuff. Bro, I was in a band before the internet existed. Like you said, you've been around. We've been around before.
I think Homicide should go on tour. I do. I think that you should do cool clubs all over North America and in the Caribbean. I think it's important to go to the Caribbean for weather reasons and to teach the Caribbeans metal. They're not into metal. They're into reggae and that's all, and steel drums. You got to bring them into that heavy shred, just real thick stuff.
That's what we got to do. Like, there's all those metal cruises and rock cruises and stuff like that.
Yeah. I'll be your tour manager.
Yeah, that's what SportsGrid should do. We should do the SportsGrid cruise. We'll do the show live on the boat.
Good luck with the SportsGrid
people can come party.
Heavy metal cruise.
Yeah. And some, I don't know. They all have casinos, but they don't have sports books. I don't understand that with these cruise ships. If you have like a casino or you're an international walker, why don't you have a sports book too on the cruise ship? I've never heard of a cruise ship with a sports book.
Have you ever been to Miami where they, like, back in the day, like when I lived there, you had to go out on the ocean in international waters to gamble. So like you'd have the booze cruise and they would take you out on the water and then they'd hit that certain mile marker and then they'd start playing the tables and you could bet on anything. And it was great. But the thing was, they trapped you at sea. Because once they got out there, they'd play poker for 8 hours, and you'd be on the back end of the boat doing narcotics. Are we on the air? Don't talk.
There's no turning back once you're out at sea.
There's no turning back. At one point, I was going to jump in and swim back. I was scared, though.
I'm not a big cruise ship guy. I don't like being stuck on things.
I don't like cruise ships either. I had a bad experience. I'll never get on another one. Who do you like tonight in these two games? One of them's crappy. One of them's decent.
No, I think, you know what? I think they're both going to be pretty entertaining. They should be very, very close. The St. Francis and Alabama State game is intriguing. I mean, you've got two teams that are smoking hot down the stretch. They've definitely earned their spot here. One thing with St. Francis, and I was surprised, Scott, because Central Connecticut State were one of those teams that people just sort of had penciled in to the bracket, and they knocked them off in a really low scoring game. And, we're talking about a team, guys. They were 10-17, St. Francis. 10-17. They've won 6 in a row. All right, to get where they are right now, that's super impressive. Like they
would have been in the SEC title game at 10-17. I mean, all you have to do is lose 15, 16 games in that conference. You got a nice 8-9 seed in the NCAAs.
But think about it, Scott. These guys have been playing pressure games. Like, our season's going to be over if we lose. Our season's going to be over if we lose. Our season's going to be over if we lose.
Every night.
And they've been doing it over and over. And one thing that's a little deceptive as well, I don't think people realize this about St. Francis, Scott. All right, they were 10-17. They opened up the season at Dayton. After that, they went to Clemson. They went to Penn State. They went to Georgetown. They played Robert Morris. They went to Robert Morris. They went to Maryland. You get where I'm going with this, Scott? These guys are battle-tested. They played good teams. That's like they're better than their record is. So now when they're playing against like teams that aren't these Power 5 conference teams, they're balling right now. I think they hang with Alabama State tonight, Scott. I think the point spread's a little high. I think this is going to come right down to the wire tonight. Give me the red flash tonight plus the points.
When we come back, we'll get Morency's opinion of the Heels and Aztecas. The Dutch oven is on tonight in the second game at 9:40. So we'll talk about Brian's team. My son goes to school there. He did go to a game. He went to the New Mexico game at the Viejas. I'm rooting for the Aztecs, even though I think they might be in trouble.
which is a great place to be. Are you in the locker room? Like, you giving like the Any Given Sunday inches Al Pacino speech? Are we there yet?
Oh yeah, I think we've been there. We're gonna have a long talk with Rob today about the 99-199 issue from last week. Like, I just don't get how he is still employed. We got to talk to ownership about that one.
The Smiley Show, only on SportsGrid.
They're also showing a little bit more propensity to take the pull-up jumper, which I think is important for them. Aiden Holloway's been better. Brant Nelson's getting staying out of foul trouble. Clifford Murray is attacking the offensive boards and being the defensive threat that they need. If Alabama can defend, and they make a run, and they win the SEC tournament, I think they're the fourth number one seed.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
That is also value to be the best player on the best team. To me, it's Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. There is no doubt about it.
The Nuggets probably going to finish, second overall in the conference here, and it's not going to get him the MVP. We'll see how it is down the stretch, and I assume this is going to tighten up, but barring a huge drop-off for OKC as a team, not just SGA, you could probably pencil him in for 30 tonight.
The early line, only on SportsGrid. The game is on. The stakes are high, but the action isn't just on the field.
Rearranging that rim. Get it inside.
SportsGrid's in-game live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
Just a little flyer, couple of 15.5-point live line.
Every prop, every play, every day.
Anything can happen. That's complete chaos.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
A little rally going here with the Buccos, down 2-0 to the Phillies in the ninth. Get a double, an RBI double, broken bat double into the corner and scored a run. Now you got a runner on second, nobody out. Let's see if they can do something with it, and no one cares. North Carolina and San Diego State. My son, as you know, goes there. I'm rooting for the Aztecs, and I'm very concerned based on how much abuse North Carolina has got since they got the last spot in the tournament. Everyone's wishing ill will on them. They'll probably go to the Final Four now. But they start with San Diego State tonight, and the Dutch oven.
Hey, listen, you got Hubert Davis, who's taking his team to a championship, and you've got Dutcher, who's been around forever, former Michigan Wolverine assistant coach with my boy Steve Fisher. And, of course, Fisher went to San Diego State after. Dutcher went with him, and now Dutcher – there's a lot of people that always sort of wanted Dutcher to be the Michigan coach in past years as they sort of hopped around. But May's obviously doing a great job. You're right, though, Scott. I mean, can you motivate a team more than the abuse that North Carolina have taken? Like over the last 48 hours, I mean, governors want to file lawsuits, talk shows, crying about this incessantly. Thing with North Carolina, guys, for people who are paying attention to them, they're 8-2 in their last 10 games. Their 2 losses are to Duke. All right, once they had Cooper Flagg, once they didn't. They were down 24 to Duke last week. They came back. They nearly won the damn game. They covered the point spread. They made a starting lineup change. They tweaked the lineup. And ever since they tweaked the lineup, this is when they've gone on this run right now. I just think they're going to have too much talent for San Diego State. I'm a big Aztec guy. I love Fisher, love Dutcher, Scott. I know you're a fan of them. Like you said, your son goes there. But with that being stated, you know as well as I do, bro, they can't shoot. They get these offensive lulls. Look in the Mountain West game. Yeah, like you look at them, yeah, they can score 68, 70. What did they do in the first Mountain West game? They scored 52. I don't think they're going to be able to keep up with North Carolina's athleticism over 40 minutes, Scott. I like the Tar Heels. I got the Tar Heels in moneyline parlays already. I took the Dodgers and the Tar Heels in a parlay, but I think North Carolina will cover. It's 4.5 right now, I see. I think they're going to cover the 4.5. I don't think they smoke them, but I think they win by 7 or 8 or 9 or something like that.
The Buccos just tied up the Phillies there in the bottom of the ninth. How about that? All right, NIT, there's some games tonight, and you said before that you think it's a tough board.
It's a strange NIT, guys, because of this king, the crown of the court. the crown of the court stuff, Scott. That Fox basically took all the teams that they air and created their own tournament. And it starts like in 2 weeks only, or a week and a half.
Why not? I mean, why not?
Well, I don't have a problem with it, but it's destroyed the NIT now. I mean, the NIT is not supposed to be Chattanooga and Middle Tennessee and St. Louis and Arkansas State and all this. So it's almost like the NIT is the CBI now. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, looking at this from a handicap, it's
I
like,
think
boom.
some of the games are decent.
Oh, they are. They are. And for the record, and let me see if I can get a quick future on this, Scott, because I looked at the NIT board, and I'm hardcore enough, Scott, into this that I think the San Francisco Dons are going to win it all. Let's get a future here right now. The San Francisco Dons to win the NIT. Right, here we go. What do I got here? All right, SMU are plus 350. Santa Clara are 6-1. Give me the San Francisco Dons, Scott, plus 650 to win the NIT.
All right. And so tonight in that Santa Clara Riverside, are you taking the 9.5, the boogie? Are you going to take the 9.5?
Yeah. Damn right I am. Give me the 9.5 with UC Riverside tonight. I don't think Santa Clara should be that big of favorites against Riverside. Give me Wichita State, too, plus the 6.5 against Oklahoma State. This is not a good Cowboy team. Exactly,
They're awful.
They're not good. Like, Wichita State will be fired up for this. Home court means, and other than two guys, a lot of these campuses, the kids don't care about this, right? Like, they're not going to be there. You think Oklahoma State fans are like, oh, well, fire it up tonight for the NIT game against Wichita State? No, they're pissed off that they sucked this year. They didn't make the NCAA tournament. So it's not the same type of home court advantage either, Scott. Give me the Shockers tonight, plus 6.5.
What about Jacksonville State at Georgia Tech? And Jacksonville State was really good in conference and had a great season. They were 14-7 in Conference USA, and then Georgia Tech was 11-11 in the ACC, which gets no love to begin with. Does Jacksonville State have a shot here with 6.5 at the Yellow Jackets?
I don't love that one, Scott. I looked at it. I think the number is good, but I tell you what, how about the Billikens plus 5.5 at Arkansas State? I think that's a live one. I'm going to pull the trigger with some dogs tonight.
All right, Morency, good stuff.
Enjoy out the Billiken game during the NCAA tournament.
Enjoy those first 4 games tonight in Dayton, my man.
Which is a great place to be. Are you in the locker room? Like, you giving like the Any Given Sunday inches Al Pacino speech? Are we there yet?
Oh yeah, I think we've been there. We're gonna have a long talk with Rob today about the 99-199 issue from last week. Like, I just don't get how he is still employed. We got to talk to ownership about that one.
The Smiley Show, only on SportsGrid.
They're also showing a little bit more propensity to take the pull-up jumper, which I think is important for them. Aiden Holloway's been better. Brant Nelson's getting staying out of foul trouble. Clifford Murray is attacking the offensive boards and being the defensive threat that they need. If Alabama can defend, and they make a run, and they win the SEC tournament, I think they're the 4th number 1 seed.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
That is also value to be the best player on the best team. To me, it's Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. There is no doubt about it.
The Nuggets probably going to finish, 2nd overall in the conference here, and it's not going to get him the MVP. We'll see how it is down the stretch, and I assume this is going to tighten up, but barring a huge drop-off for OKC as a team, not just SGA, you could probably pencil him in for 30 tonight.
The early line, only on SportsGrid. The game is on. The stakes are high. But the action isn't just on the field.
He's rearranging that rim. Get it inside!
SportsGrid's in-game live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
A little flyer, couple 15.5-point live line.
Every prop, every play, every day.
Anything can happen. That's complete chaos.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
Yeah, did you see the Buccos with the walk-off home run there, Mike? I mean, honestly, if this were opening day, we'd be scratching off a W out of that 75 and a hook.
75 and a half, sounding more and more attainable by the day as the Buccos continue to play. Were they home today in Bradenton? Were they at Bradenton today with that win? Yeah.
Like Checkney Field.
Oh, boy. Yeah, Bucco baseball. I know they're going to be able to pitch. Can they hit? That's the question. Can they score any runs? That'll be the deal with the Buccos. Because I know they got arms.
They were down 2-0 in the bottom of the ninth, and they scored 3 runs. It was a miracle. They haven't scored 3 runs in an inning since the 60s.
Looking forward to seeing Tommy Pham and the crew out there with the Pittsburgh Pirates this year.
Tommy Pham. I'm watching now. I got highlights of the Yankees and Phillies, or it's the Red Sox and Yankees I'm looking at. I got a lot of
anyone else get hurt in the Yankee game today? They got anybody else get hurt? I mean, because that's every day now. Somebody else gets hurt.
The whole team's on the IL. All right. Let's go to Mike DeCourcy of the Sporting News for our weekly jaunt with him. Of course, he's on Fox Sports college basketball coverage. He did all the bracketology on Fox this past weekend, telling you who was going to get in, who wasn't. And then Big Ten Network as well. He's on the take for the Indiana Hoosiers. I'm hearing here this afternoon, my buddy Goody is reporting that the West Virginia coach is the guy that Indiana is going to try to hire, DeVries. Is that true?
It's only like the 17th guy Goody's put out there. And look, I'm not saying it's not true, but 2 weeks ago, he was all in on TJ Otzelberger, who's always been who I believe should be their number one target. And then he was reporting that TJ was pretty set at Iowa State. And then he was reporting Ben McCollum from Drake. And now this. So I until we have some firmness, we won't know. I know that Iowa will be interested in Darren. And that's where he's from, and that's where he coached at Drake. And so there may be some interest in that respect. I'm not sure whether that will be what Indiana does or not. But it's good conversation fodder. And because Darren is available now, because West Virginia got a rough deal from the selection committee, really got in a way that I had not seen in a very long time. Yeah, that's the word, I guess. I don't like to use the word, but I have not seen anything quite like that in a very, very long time. I thought that the committee got a lot wrong. Maybe a lot is strong. I thought the seeding of Louisville was absurd. The exclusion of West Virginia was ridiculous. The inclusion of Carolina was indefensible on any level. They have zero qualifications to be in this tournament. I am not exaggerating. I mean, zero qualifications to be in this tournament. But in the sense that they knocked out, or someone knocked out West Virginia, which had every reason to believe that they would be in, that was really wrong.
How in God's name did they win 6 quad 1 games, 5 of them on the road? They beat 5 ranked teams this year. And then this team wins 1 game in quad 1 and nothing else on their resume to speak of. And what did they give? Did they give them credit for pulling within 3 of Duke, and that's why they got in? How did West Virginia get shafted, and how did North Carolina get in, other than corruption?
I'll say this. I do wonder whether they would have mounted a case for them if they had stayed buried, if it had been the embarrassment that the first half was. Right. I do wonder about that because the first half was agony for people who were Carolina fans and for people who just wanted to see a competitive basketball game, because it was not. But what bothered me the most was the absolute absence of real achievement. I mean, Scott, they have a ranking, the NCAA does, called the net. It is a predictive metric. How do you perform? Not necessarily whether you win or lose, but how did you perform? And they beat one team inside the top 40 of that ranking. One team all year long. That's all they beat. It's the same team that's the one in the quad win system. They beat one team and lost 12 in quad 1. They beat one team in the field. It all comes down to beating UCLA. That's it. And if UCLA had made some free throws and had not fumbled the ball out of bounds under pressure, they wouldn't even had that. And so coming close against Duke, you say, well, we came close. Well, you also came close to losing the only game you won. So I really was disappointed. Scott, they've done such great things at the NCAA relative to that committee and built up a ton of credibility over the course of the last 15 years or so, allowing people to see how it works, bringing people like me in to see how the system works and to understand it. They've done not just people like me, but reporters from all around the country got to go through this exercise they called the mock selection experience, and you really learned a lot. And people like David Warlock and Dan Gavitt are among the best people you could ever want to meet, who are very involved in the selection process. They don't vote or anything, but they're there to service the members of the committee, and they're great people. And I've known tons of members of the committee who put lots of years of work into making this a really a believable and credible organization. And in one weekend, they did damage that had taken 15 years. They damaged an entity that had taken 15 years to build that credibility.
So have they ever discussed? Now, I know this sounds crazy, but I actually heard someone say that you and Jerry and Joe, so in other words, Jerry Palm and Joe Lunardi and yourself, I've heard people suggest that they should have the three of you select the tournament and stop letting these athletic directors of these big heavyweight schools be involved in it. Have they ever asked or thought about actually doing it? Because they have butchered it so badly now that I think, I got to be honest with you, I think it's so embarrassing, that whole selection show. That whole thing is so cheesy. I want to puke watching it because I don't respect them. I don't respect them at all. I think that guy from North Carolina is a cheeseball, and I don't believe for 1 minute he didn't influence the rest of those guys in that room. I just don't believe it for 1 minute.
What I'll say about that, Scott, is that, look, they do leave the room. I've gone through that. Like when I was at the selection process mock, I represented one of the committee members, and if it was my school, I had to leave the room, or my league, whatever it was in those instances. I had to leave the room and stand out in the hallway. And so they do leave. But what I always thought about is, and with me, I was just pretending. I was just playing a role. But if I am legitimately the athletic director of North Carolina and I walk back in the room, they have to look me in the eye. And Bubba's a nice guy. I really like him. I've known him for almost 20 years, and he's a really good guy. And so I would understand if you didn't want to hurt Bubba's feelings, but your job is to do the right thing by everybody. And they did not do the right thing by everybody in this instance.
Oh, my God. They just butchered it so badly. But, I've even heard, though, the tail end of it, what are we doing wasting our time talking about North Carolina for, several days here since Sunday? Tonight, they'll probably kick San Diego State's ass and then go on to the Elite Eight. We'll see what happens. We got play-in games tonight and tomorrow. Thursday it starts. I know you're excited about it. I don't really have much time. Who do you like? Who's your Final Four, real quick?
Final Four, Michigan State, Florida, Duke, and Tennessee. I have Florida playing Duke in the final and the Blue Devils taking the trophy home.
Yeah, I totally respect those four selections completely. Especially, I'm with you on Michigan State and Tennessee for sure, and I always thought Duke was going to win it all.
Which is a great place to be. Are you in the locker room? Like, you giving like the Any Given Sunday inches Al Pacino speech? Are we there yet?
Oh yeah, I think we've been there. We're gonna have a long talk with Rob today about the 99-199 issue from last week. Like I just don't get how he is still employed. We got to talk to ownership about that one.
The Smiley Show, only on SportsGrid.
They're also showing a little bit more propensity to take the pull-up jumper, which I think is important for them. Aiden Holloway's been better. Grant Nelson's getting staying out of foul trouble. Clifford Murray is attacking the offensive boards and being the defensive threat that they need. If Alabama can defend, and they make a run, and they win the SEC tournament, I think they're the fourth number one seed.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
That is also value to be the best player on the best team. To me, it's Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. There is no doubt about it.
The Nuggets probably going to finish, second overall in the conference here, and it's not going to get him the MVP. We'll see how it is down the stretch, and I assume this is going to tighten up, but barring a huge drop-off for OKC as a team, not just SGA, you could probably pencil him in for 30 a night.
The early line, only on SportsGrid. The game is on. The stakes are high, but the action isn't just on the field.
He's rearranging that rim. Get it inside!
SportsGrid's in-game live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
A little flyer, couple 15.5-point live line.
Every prop, every play, every day.
Anything can happen. That's complete chaos.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
Did you hear that, Mike? That Indiana fired Kelvin Sampson over 10 phone calls where they said that he illegally recruited. And, I bet he illegally recruits at Houston. He gets whatever he wants. And now they win 30 games every year and play for, Final Fours and national championships and conference titles. And all they do is play in big games. They had him at Indiana. Indiana would be winning to this day. They'd be playing in Elite Eights and Final Fours if they had Kelvin Sampson. He's a great coach. And because he made 10 phone calls that were deemed inappropriate, they tore the Indiana basketball program to the studs, and they've never recovered since. And they've never they just keep making bad hires and bad decisions. And I can't wait to see how they screw this up now. I mean, I just know they're not landing a heavyweight. You just know it. You know why? And it's because I said this 50 times, because they don't matter anymore. They don't matter. I mean, they just do not matter anymore. They used to, and those days are long gone. You know where they are? They're in a casket in Bloomington, Indiana, buried with Bob Knight. That was the end of Indiana basketball, Bob Knight. That's it. They'll never, ever be the same. I guarantee you. I'll be in the ground before they ever win another national championship. I'll be dead and buried, long gone. They suck. They're like, you know what? I mean, honest to Christ, Miami of Ohio is better than Indiana. I mean, Kent State is. They're better. Akron's better. MAC teams are better than Indiana. MAC teams, that's high school.
You got to remember, they want to be a football school now. They're a football school.
Christ
so
almighty. Don't get me started. I'm going to lose my temper.
Signetti rules the roost on Bloomington now. That's it. It's his campus.
Let's see him win 11 games again once in his lifetime.
All right, we have.
I will bet anyone he'll never win 11 again as long as he lives. I'll take the under every year. I'll make that bet right now.
11's extremely difficult to do, and he's not gonna. It's gonna be, he's not off, but he's gonna also get the. And look at this is how it is. Schedule breaks that he got last year. He didn't.
Who lives up to 11-0? Who lives up to that ever again? No one.
Yeah, it's true. Very difficult. Very difficult for him. So we'll see. I know next year is a lot tougher for him in terms of the Big Ten schedule. They play Oregon, they play Penn State, they got a little bit of a tougher road in conference than they did this past
year. My guy
year.
Kriv just wrote me. He's hanging himself in his garage right now in Phoenix because he's an Indiana fan. He's got the rope out. He's got his wife's driving the tractor away from the garage. He got him wrapped around his neck. All of us Indiana fans feel the same way. I'm sick and tired of it. Honestly, I'm wearing San Diego State hoodies to the gym. I can't even wear Indiana stuff anymore. I got my Indiana cup right here. I'm going to paint it black like the Rolling Stones.
We will do some more college rack later. We've done a lot of college rack. I'll give you all the numbers later on for tonight with the first four.
I should have gone to Iona.
Gone to Iona. Hey, good school as well. A lot of people around here with the Iona roots. Let's get the NBA out of the way here early today. Lots of stuff from last night and then just a couple games this evening. First of all, Lakers beat the Spurs late night, 125-109. Another big night for both Luka, Reeves, even Connect. Reeves had 37-6. Luka 21-9-14. Connect 13-3-3. Reeves going off. Spectrum Sportsnet LA.
Throw line. Although I'd like to see him try it occasionally. Here is Reeves. Loses his man. Biyombo and scores.
That's not fair. Put a center out there on Austin Reeves. Austin dancing.
I mean, he really is something else. The hillbilly Mamba. He can flat out play. That's all there is to it. He can score from anywhere.
Luka's been with him for a little while now. Luka also starting to love Austin Reeves.
I mean, this guy just scored 30 in his 4 games in 5 days. That explains everything. But he's an amazing player. For him to go undrafted is unbelievable. And, it's not easy to go undrafted and then play at this level. And it's amazing just to be by his side.
He's a great player, man. And then when you put him next to a guy like this, one of the best players in the world, and then when LeBron's on that floor with those two, I mean, forget about it. And Connect. Can you believe these morons traded him? I mean, they got rid of him like a bag of donuts.
Yeah. And look,
thank God the guy failed the physical.
It's been he's been helpful recently, especially these last couple games where they got off the mat after that losing streak.
Why would they trade him? He can score from anywhere too.
Because you have to have a big down low. You've got to have somebody with some size in the middle. You've got to be able to have a little bit of space down there. There you go. Lakers back now, win a couple games in a row after the 4-game losing streak. Elsewhere, Warriors' long winning streak is over too. They lose to the Nuggets at home, 114-105. How about Russell Westbrook? You mentioned it at the top, 203rd triple-double of his career. He had 12, 12, and 16 last night for Russ. Of course, I got to save Kerr for afterwards, Scotty, because there's just not enough time. But Steph's tired. I thought the interesting thing is, and we'll play the clip when we come back, then Draymond went up there, and of course they go right to Draymond, and they're like, oh, Steve says that Steph's tired, and Draymond's like, we're all tired. We're like 65 games in. He goes, we're all tired. So you don't have to deal with it. So that's, he ain't going to play tonight, probably.
It was one of those nights. I mean, the bottom line was, to me, it wasn't about being tired. I mean, they won every single game. They've been on a tear. Ever since they got Jimmy lymphoma, all we hear about is how great they are. And then they finally had the drop the soap night in the shower, and then they're all tired. If they would have won, they would have been talking about 15-1 with Jimmy Butler. The bottom line is, Brody lit their ass up. That was it.
The game is on. The stakes are high. But the action isn't just on the field.
He's rearranging that rim. Get it inside!
SportsGrid's in-game live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
A 15.5-point live line.
Every prop, every play. every day.
Anything can happen. That's complete chaos.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
Anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the games start so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
The two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take. Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results.
What? How do you do this once?
Oh, Donnie, you've got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
Honestly, I'm reading this DeCourcy piece about Indiana. I'm getting the flu. Watch, just looking at it, I'm getting the flu. Reading it, I'm getting a fever. I'm getting sick. So you have to get me out of this. You got to take me somewhere. Give me Kerr. Give me somebody.
Well,
Anybody.
yeah. Let's give you something else. Here's Steve Kerr. Basically, I mean, you want to say he's making excuses? Maybe Steph really is tired. Steph says he's not. Kerr says he is.
Did you think Steph was all limited? Another tough shooting night, 7 turnovers.
He's tired.
Yeah, and maybe
Steph's been carrying us for a month. He's been amazing.
They went 14 and
he's
1.
tired.
Now all of a sudden they have problems.
So we got to get him. We got to get him some rest. I just you can see it. He doesn't have his energy right now.
Potentially rest him tomorrow.
Potentially, and I don't know what I got to talk to Rick, but he's exhausted right now. So
he ain't playing tonight.
we got to absolutely consider giving him a night and getting him rejuvenated for the sake of him and our the remainder of our games.
I mean, do you realize how long the NBA playoffs are? I mean, they're already crying about this guy being tired. I played 2 games yesterday. I played for 90 minutes in the morning. I played at night. At 10 o'clock at night, I played in a game. I don't understand. Like, I played on an NBA court, running up and down. I'm 60 years old. Like, tired? What is tired? Tired? Refund? What is tired? But what do they got? They got 15, 20 games left? That's before they play for 2 months if they want to win a title. Yeah. What is tired? I don't even know what that means. You know what I mean? Honestly, like, this load management in NBA and guys taking nights off and guys shutting it down. Honestly, I don't know one player in my life that doesn't want a ball. I'm playing tomorrow at 5:45 in the morning. I should be in bed. Like, I don't want to hear it about tired. That is so candy to me. What soft ass, wussy ass Shaq is this you're telling me about being tired? What is tired? I'm tired when I'm going to bed. What is tired?
Well, look, and you had the Nuggets do it last night, with Joker and Murray not playing in that game. Now, I know they won, so whatever, but, like, that's like a story now. Like, how can you do that? It was a national TV game. Aren't you supposed... I mean, they should get fined like some of these other teams are getting fined, right? So fine. But at the end of the day, as we said before, these fines that they do, $50,000, $100,000, to these owners, that's like a $5 bill. in my pocket. So, I mean, that does absolutely nothing to them for that. Also last night, the Timberwolves had a long winning streak going in the Western Conference. That is no more. This was a wild game. T.J. McConnell had a bucket to force overtime for the Pacers. And then Obi Toppin, who also, I mean, you talk about going off. I mean, did you see what your boy Obi did last night?
Yeah.
He had 34 points and he hit 7 threes. He actually had 10 boards too. And he had this, the game winner, FanDuel Sportsnet.
McConnell underneath the basket. Looking. Toppin in the corner for 3. Oh,
yeah! Yeah! Obi!
Yes! Obi Toppin!
Easy.
He had 4 threes in overtime.
Yeah.
And a game winner. 4 of them. And that was deep corner pocket stuff right there. It's like literally ass to bench. He was literally about to sit down on the bench. That's how deep he was in that corner.
What a win for the Pacers. The Knicks beat the Heat 116-95. No problems for the Knicks. The Heat suck. Cat getting involved last night, scoring 15 straight at one point on MSG.
Lead of the night.
Hart now no points, but 8 rebounds.
Towns long 3. 15 consecutive points.
Wow.
Kenny.
The big bodega. And Kenny Albert.
Kenny Albert involved. Also last night at the Knick game, I'm sure you saw all the Tracy Morgan getting. Now, I guess they've circled back today to say that was food poisoning.
Sure.
So that was take that for what you will.
Alcohol.
Look, who knows? But I know one thing.
St. Patty's Day. He probably had 100 drinks.
That must have not been a fun place to be.
It was like a river Kwai.
That was right next to Clyde and Kenny, too. I mean, they must have been just ripping that in while trying to do the game. That couldn't have been a good scene down there. Not a good scene.
Which is a great place to be. Are you in the locker room? Like, you giving like the Any Given Sunday inches Al Pacino speech? Are we there yet?
Oh yeah, I think we've been there. We're gonna have a long talk with Rob today about the 99-199 issue from last week. Like, I just don't get how he is still employed. We got to talk to ownership about that one.
The Smiley Show, only on SportsGrid.
They're also showing a little bit more propensity to take the pull-up jumper, which I think is important for them. Aiden Holloway's been better. Brant Nelson's getting staying out of foul trouble. Clifford Murray is attacking the offensive boards and being the defensive threat that they need. If Alabama can defend, and they make a run, and they win the SEC tournament, I think they're the 4th number 1 seed.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
That is also value to be the best player on the best team. To me, it's Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. There is no doubt about it.
The Nuggets probably going to finish, 2nd overall in the conference here, and it's not going to get him the MVP. We'll see how it is down the stretch, and I assume this is going to tighten up, but barring a huge drop-off for OKC as a team, not just SGA, you could probably pencil him in for 30 tonight.
The early line, only on SportsGrid. The game is on. The stakes are high, but the action isn't just on the field.
He's rearranging that rim. Get it inside!
SportsGrid's in-game live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
18.5-point live line.
Every prop, every play, every day.
Anything can happen. That's complete chaos.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.